What's up, guys? Welcome back to the JP and Trav Show on the JP and Trav Show YouTube channel and also live on Travis's X. As always, your host with the most, JP, and to my right, I'm my esteemed co-host, brother, and friend, Travis J. Davidson. Travis, how you feeling, brother?
Man, I'm good. Busy day. I've got to make collard greens in the morning for a little work potluck, so I had to go to the store and grab those. Busy day getting ready to onboard some schools and putting together some edits and whatnot. And then I had a little thing at church from like 6:30 to 8:15. I ate half of my dinner at like 6:15, and the other half of the dinner I will be enjoying on the podcast. So, anyways, been super busy. Got back from Tuscaloosa on Monday. Been a heck of a week. Obviously Tuesday playoff rankings come out. Exciting times for the Oklahoma Sooners. Just I don't know. It's kind of funny, JP, because I think it was after the Ole Miss loss, the Ole Miss loss, or maybe the Texas loss. There were some people in the comments that remembered that I thought that we might go 10-2, and they tried to throw it in my face.
Yeah.
And say, "Oh, you still feel confident? You dumb sunshine pumping this, that, and the other."
Yep.
I mean,
I remember.
we still got 2 games to go, but even if Oklahoma were to slip up on one of these, the win at Alabama is a win that a 10-win team would typically pull off. So, anyways, glad PSS recognizes the Sunshine Pumpers are right again. But, just a great trip down to Tuscaloosa, wildly historic area, historic campus, old buildings. I'm reading on placards that are like, this building was ransacked by the Union Army back in. I was like, yo, what? I was like, I completely forgot that this campus was here during the Civil War.
Yeah.
So wild stuff. Super kind Alabama fans, super kind. Kind of a mutual respect type thing going on. But man, leaving the stadium, you could hear Boomer Sooner chants just like echoing through the halls of the stadium. All this, it was so cool. I didn't know what to do because I usually do post-game radio.
Yeah.
So for the first time in 4 years, I wasn't on post-game. We were on pre-game. So I was sitting in the press box just like in shock. I could not believe we won that football game. And I'm staring down at the team and I'm like, I don't know what I do now. Like, do I just leave? Like, I don't know. So left, went and tailgated, had a little bit of whiskey and celebrated. So, yeah, it was a valiant effort, man. And this team, their goals are 100% in front of them. In Texas, got their ass kicked, which was awesome. They can try and claim it was a close game all they want, but they never I think it was after it was like 3-10 or something like that, they never actually held the ball in the second half with an opportunity to go tie or win the ball game.
Yeah.
So that was awesome. It's awesome. The injury report tonight, obviously, Xavier Robinson isn't on it. Taylor Tatum isn't on it. Torrey Blaylock isn't on it. So all good things. How are you doing? I see you were at the Pacers game tonight, saw them double their win total on the year, go from a 1-win team all the way up the standings, skyrocketing up from the cellar to a 2-win team. So I'll have to check on the defending world champions and kind of see what their score is. Let's see, around the association. Okay, they're up 14. That's good on the Kings as they try and keep their historic pace up. But I'm glad you were able to see that second win in person, no doubt.
Listen, man, I'm just we're dealing with a lot of injuries right now, so I don't know what the season is going to amount to. I don't know if we're in tank mode or whatever. Tonight was our first night back with basically everybody except for Obi Toppin. And, we won, obviously, playing a hapless Charlotte Hornets team, but nevertheless, it's good to get another dub. So, beggars can't be choosers. But, yeah, it was a good family, family, friends, and stuff like that we went with. But, man, I'm glad to be back and talking about just what a win that this was, Trav. And you said it from the jump, being there and seeing it live. Man, it just seemed like, first of all, it seemed like there's a ton of Oklahoma fans there. And we're about to get into this preview so that we can, get on to Missouri. But it seemed to be a lot of Oklahoma fans there, Trav.
Yeah, I think it was the most well-traveled game of the year. I think a lot of people, like I talked to people that after the Tennessee loss or after the Tennessee win, excuse me, like booked tickets. They're like, man, I thought, after Ole Miss, I canceled. After Texas, I canceled my Tennessee trip, or after Ole Miss, I canceled my Tennessee trip, whatever. They're like, we're back for the Bama game. And a lot of people hadn't been there at all. I mean, we hadn't played in there since the early 2000s. So, I mean, it was incredible. It was homecoming weekend. So all the homecoming parade was going on, and all the bars were packed out, and very cool. Very small town. Downtown Tuscaloosa, very small. So a lot of people stayed in Birmingham. In fact, the OU Alumni Association kind of did all their big events in Birmingham. We did radio on Friday in Birmingham. It was great. Great trip. The trips are always especially great when you win, right?
Yeah.
Especially driving back after a loss. Whew, that's tough because then you can't watch any reaction videos that week or turn on the ESPN or anything. But it was awesome. Got to hear everybody give respect to Oklahoma, and it was cool because Alabama fans so welcoming and whatnot. I mean, tailgating. Hey, you want a drink? You want appreciate you coming. What way'd you come? Like I'll always say it, and I've said it on this podcast a lot. If you are financially able, make it a point to go to a road game. It will change your perspective on arguing with people on Twitter all day. Like it's just when you go there and realize that these are just sports fans just like you, and they're super welcoming, they're super kind, it's awesome environments. It's what the sport's all about. And then you get on Twitter and everybody just calls each other a shithead. So is what it is. But
yep. But yeah, no, let's get into this review and to address Kirby's comment. Yes, I had a wedding that I was at, and I had everybody at the wedding screaming "Boomer." So if that tells you if I was watching or not, I was that invested that I turned Indiana Hoosier fans into Oklahoma fans that night because they were all watching me watch the game. Okay, so don't come after me, big dog. I was doing what I could with my circumstances. All right, let's get into Trav, kind of the first big play of the game, the Satania punt return that really set us up well initially. And I'm going to try to be quick on the draw here. We believe the reason we've been getting copyrighted is because of sound. We'll see. Y'all have to let us know. But hey, make sure you share the stream on Twitter, on YouTube. Appreciate it. Twitter's not, they don't care. But so big 3-and-out by our defense. And man, I thought you got tackled there first, Trav.
Just such good balance. Such good balance to take full 40-yard head start coming in and smoking your right knee, and he catches himself, avoiding blocks in the back. Obviously, people getting on their horse, trying to get out in front. The kicker does his job, slows him down, but just the attitude in the stadium after the 3-and-out. Oklahoma fans looking at each other like, okay, this may be all we move the ball today, but at least we can sign up for 3 points. You know what I mean? And Isaiah Satania, obviously, a lot of Oklahoma fans, most recent punt return memory of him has been him fumbling at Ole Miss. So obviously I know the Tennessee game was in between that, but a lot of people had had shades of that whenever they saw that defender coming down.
Yeah, for sure. No, I mean, I just felt like 90% of the time I trust him. The other 10, it's like, yeah, but he's made enough plays, and as Kirby says, he basically has been our offensive player of the year as well, even though he's shown a penchant to sometimes be loose with the football. But yeah, man, this was a big play. It set us up. At this point, we didn't, score a touchdown. But regardless, we obviously ended up being able to get on the board, and that is again bigger than nothing. And right out here, this huge play happens, which I mean is just probably um, one of the biggest plays of I mean, we talked about back to back in Neyland and in Tuscaloosa, so biggest defensive plays of the year, and obviously our Masons was more impressive, but just explosive defensive touchdowns here, and we see Kip's going to get in the A gap here, and Aaron throw,
Yeah,
and
completely unblocked in the A gap. Completely
yeah,
unblocked. Like, and that's what's so funny is all these Alabama fans, right? We gave you the game. We gave the ball away. We gifted you. Like, nah. Like, Bowen came down, jumped that route. The reason the throw was errant was because Kip Lewis was smoking Ty Simpson
yeah,
at the time. I mean, look at this. He just walks up, and by the time the snap's in the air, he's already past the center. So, I mean, right there, but I mean, they part the sea,
yeah,
and all of a sudden, Ty Simpson is a guy that processes quickly, that gets the ball out quickly. We talked about that on the stream. But I mean, if you know where he wants to go hot, you can jump it because he's gonna throw it. He's gonna get rid of the ball.
yeah,
So, I mean, this again, Kip Lewis in his chest, and it's just film, man. It's just
yeah,
film, and then the ability to pay it off, right? You know the offense is struggling. You know what kind of spark you can give this team if you can get in that end zone. And man, you had blockers down the field. Obviously, Kip's running down there. RSJ's running down there. R. Mason Thomas, giving him a little bit of love there, like, hey, welcome to the touchdown club. So
look at that face, man. Stone cold. And
he
Eli
knows
was
what's
the one
up.
that was saying, "Hey, they scheduled us for homecoming." That's
Yep.
the best part is that Eli was the one that was like, "Oh, word? All right, bet."
Mm-hmm.
And he's the one to make this play this big into the game. And this is to Kirby's point here. He said Ty Simpson, I can't talk, somehow threw for 300 plus yards, but also looked mid as hell. And here's the thing, like about Brent Venables' coach defense, because that's what happened in Tennessee, right? Joey Aguilar, like he got chunk plays, but with Venables' defenses, like there's going to be times where those plays are given up. And does that mean that Brent loves that? No, not necessarily. But he's going to say, hey, I'm going to take my defense in 7 or 8 plays against your offense more often than not to create a turn. And I know it wouldn't happen early in the year, but to create a turnover or get you behind the chains enough to where right we can get you off the field. And against some of these good offenses, like they're gonna get theirs. You feel me? But we have finally started to see the turnovers come our way, which I think is crazy that it didn't happen sooner. But as Jim Nagy said, and I retweeted today something he said back in August is, when they or September when they come, they're going to come in bunches, and he's been absolutely right. The last 3 games, we've had 3 turnovers that have come via the defense or obviously special teams against Bama, which we'll uh, look at here shortly. But
Well,
man,
yeah, absolutely. And the thing is, they do this bend, don't break. And if you want to keep throwing the ball around the yard, they're going to think you're giving them the same look, and then boom, you're counting on that same look, and all of a sudden they pull the rug out from you. One of the interesting things about Alabama was, I think, over 100 of their passing yards came from 2 basically like deceptive plays, which they're good plays, but
mm-hmm.
when Ty Simpson's looking, at the sideline and everybody stands and looks but doesn't turn their shoulders, like, and then they snap the ball and throw it to the tight end real quick and he takes off and we're a step late. Like, that's the kind of stuff that like you're going to give up, but it doesn't feel like that's like, man, you really got carved up. You know what I mean? Like, Bama has turned from the team that could run it on anybody, could lock down defense, shut teams out, to now relying on tricks, literally like tight end hideout plays to score against Oklahoma.
Yep.
It's crazy.
Yep. And like you said, and like Gabe and Teddy said, like you chalk it up to those guys when they do stuff like that. But man, Gabe said it against Tennessee. Like people that are Teddy said, excuse me, people that watch this Oklahoma defense, like that's why Gabe said or Teddy said he's so proud, like of the way they play, the relentless effort that they play with. Nobody wants to go against Oklahoma's defense, not simply because like, oh yeah, they're the top defense, one of the top defenses statistically, but just what it means to actually physically have to play them, right? And now,
Yeah, the physical demands for sure.
oh my gosh, like it's just what it is. So here's the punch out from Jane Hardy, which was huge. Special teams play here, and just like Peanut Tillman, boom, perfect, just perfect.
Again, Bama fans will tell you that Ryan just dropped the ball. I'm like, good thing they televised the game because this is just perfect. That's absolutely perfect.
Yeah,
now, could Ryan have put two hands on the ball in traffic? Sure, fine. Yeah. But that ball doesn't come out unless you've got a perfect peanut punch on the ball. So, again, I mean, you're looking at, let's see, that we took that over at the 20-yard line, right?
Yep.
So, for 14 points, your offense has had to go 20 yards.
Yeah.
Or really for 17. I mean, when you think of the field goal, you really didn't gain much. So Oklahoma had 17 points and probably like 35 yards of offense.
Yeah. Yep.
Which when you look at like, oh, this team got outgained and stuff like that, like
we had short fields a lot though.
And, you got
some 3-and-outs, but
yeah, they definitely got outgained. But that's why like the argument of man, this team outgained the other one. Okay, cool. Well, let's count Bowen's pick six as yardage. That's 87 yards. Let's count Satania's punt return. That was like 40, 50 yards, right? It's 130 yards of Oklahoma ball in hand moving the other way towards their goal. So while it's not technically offense, defensive yards gained and special teams yards gained, even that kind of stuff out. So it's, it's just so funny that people want to talk about, man, you got outgained. Cool. Well, part of the reason we got outgained is because they don't count defensive yards and special teams yards and extra field goal kicking yards and stuff like that. Like y'all can't make 35 yarders, but we can make 50 plus. So that's hidden yardage that we can score that you can't. So
right after that, we get into John Mateer's best play of the day, which you say what you want about John. I know, we haven't seen everything we want to see from him. He even within this game, he made some plays, even throwing the football that, like, again, you feel like you're starting to see some of that early John come back, but he made enough to where even if we didn't get points, we sustained a drive here and there that gave our defense extra time to rest and to climb off the clock. But this was huge. Little counter with EPL coming out. Boom, sets the edge there. Kanik doesn't really do anything. It's spin, but there's a hole. And John just does the rest from here, man. Just pinball.
I get that he's got like a head of steam. So, but when does he gets to the safeties at like the 10-yard line, right?
Yeah.
All right. So let's look at this. Kanik's the lead blocker. All he's got to do is, I guess, touch this guy.
That's what he did.
The guy tries to like duck under him, and I guess it works. But the hurdle works. So John Mateer is largely untouched. And at the 10, there are two guys on him and two other guys. So 4 total guys that could stop him before he gets there. And they just didn't want the smoke. Like everybody always talks about, make corners tackle. And luckily, Oklahoma's corners tackle. I mean, look at that. I mean, that's like CeeDee Lamb, against Texas vibes. You've got, obviously, the 2 guys are trailing. But the guy at the top left of the screen that we can just see his feet, that's an Alabama defender. You've got 4 Alabama defenders either next to him or, with an angle that they can work on. And, this guy kind of dives, misses. That corner just kind of throws his shoulder and, oh, I tried. Oh, never mind. That was Xavier. Regardless, he had 3 guys that could have got him. 4 guys. Now one's on the ground. just a big boy run. You know what I mean?
Yeah, huge, huge. And yeah, to this point, Kirby. Yeah, I mean, it's well known that his mechanics aren't perfect, and I think there maybe going to be some things he has to change when he looks towards the NFL. But you know, we will see. He was getting it done early in the year. He got it done against a Michigan team that has continued to be one of the top teams in the country. Their defense is, I think, a top 15 defense in the country. And so it's not as if he played against scrubs. He put up, I think, over 300 yards of total offense against them, 271 passing yards. So he's shown that he can do it. I just think that, the thumb injury, let's be honest, is probably more than he let on, which he's not gonna complain about it. He's not that guy. But it just is what it is. So we'll have to hope that, we can find some extra gear. And we'll get into the Missouri game here in a second, but we've got two more plays to look at. First is the Wine strip sack, which was, I mean, the Bowen play was huge. It was. This might have been the biggest play of the game because it basically won us the game, Travis. And to consider everything with our Mason all out, right? And everybody's talking about, what are they going to do? And Taylor Wine, who's just been making plays all dang year, comes out the edge, rips this guy, and then boom, just absolutely
smokes him. Yeah, just smokes him. And Kendall Daniels obviously very wisely lays down and grabs the ball, doesn't kick it out of bounds, doesn't. Yeah, that's a rough screenshot of Ty.
He's like, what's going on?
He's like, bro, Kalen, you promised I'd have clean pockets. Who's that guy? And obviously, the player of this play, besides Wine, obviously, is PJ. Drops back, cuts off the quick out. I mean, he wants to go right there. Like, he wants to let that ball rip. And this is exactly why we talk about forced turnovers. So, like, if you're able to make a guy pull a ball back down, that's a win. And that's what happens. Like, Ty Simpson wanted to let that ball go immediately because PJ played it perfectly and went back. That is a forced turnover. Yeah. Like, all these people that want to, and obviously he quite literally knocked it out of his hands. But, like, it's a coverage sack, but not in a way that's like, oh my gosh, I had 5 seconds in the pocket to throw, nobody got open, so then I just succumbed to the pressure. Like, that's not this. Like, when people typically say coverage sacks, but this is absolutely a coverage sack because he takes away with the coverage what he wants to do, and he's got to stand there holding it, and he just gets smoked. So, I mean, there's so much, and when we talk about, Brent's defense giving up yardage, like, it's things like this. Like, that throw had been there for him. All of a sudden, you lull him into a false sense of security, you show PJ on the line, and then you back PJ off, and you've got this guy with a 7-foot wingspan standing there between you and your wide receiver. And all of a sudden, that throw that's been there all day isn't there when you need it to be there. And then all of a sudden the ball's on the ground and you're looking up at the sky going, wait, what happened? Like, that's why you can bend. And then eventually you show them enough of the same look of that guy's going to be open. That guy's going to be open. That guy's going to be open. Then you take away their hot and it's over.
Yeah, 100%. All right, Trav, I'll be honest with you. The last play that I really want to get to, the last play Peyton Bowen got to, there is sound on it.
No, we're going to be cooked.
I need to figure out if I can pause it quick enough, I think we'll be okay. I wanted to add it before we started, but the time just wasn't there. So bear with us. Kirby's the only one that's going to be hurt. He's going to be mad. It'll be for like 2 minutes. It'll be fine. All right, here we go. And where is it at? Here it is. Oh, no, I didn't add it. Hold on. Give me a second.
Oh, man, all that
anticlimactic.
Honestly, I felt like obviously the unhitch the wagon, cinematic masterpiece that they made with
Mm.
Josh Pate and all that kind of stuff. Like that was awesome. But I was surprised that they didn't have like a slow-mo version of the end of the end of the game, right?
Yeah, it
Like
was.
I figured they would put some type of like boom, like some sound, some triumphant sound with him punching the ball down, but
Yeah.
who am I to question their cinematic values? I mean, and I saw somebody, one of the Alabama accounts, being like, why didn't Ryan Williams break this to the inside where he would have had leverage? But like Grayson bull rushes so hard
Mm-hmm.
and totally whips the left guard.
Yep.
So, and then he gets his hands up. So, like, what's he supposed to do? Like, if you just look at Grayson, who's lined up right there, just on the left guard there, like, watch him bull rush this left guard right into Simpson's lap, and then straight up. Like, you can't. He couldn't have thrown that anywhere else. I'm surprised that Grayson didn't get a hand on it. To be
I
honest,
know. I know.
this is a great play by Ty, and it forced the low throw. He couldn't step into his throw because Grayson was in the way. Causes you to short arm it and spike it into the ground. Obviously, Peyton finishes the job, but I don't think Ryan's catching that ball maybe anyways. But
Yeah.
man, what a play by Peyton Bowen.
And even
What
if
a
he
day.
does, he might be shorter, Trav.
Right. He's
Because
having to come back
the
for it right there.
line of the
So,
game was what the 46, it looks
yep.
like.
Yep.
And if he catches that, I mean, the ball is like, I think it's potentially an inch short, or the ball, because it's where the
Yeah, well,
ball.
and he was already on the ground, so wherever he gains possession with the ball has to stop right there. Like forward momentum doesn't go with like your furthest upfield body part.
That would have been a crazy.
Can you imagine that? They bring the sticks out and it's like that short. Oh my gosh. The OU sideline would have got another warning. And I mean, that's just so big. And like, there's no controversy. Like, he kept his right hand off of his back. He punched with his left. Perfect form, perfect technique, exactly what you want to see. I mean, never a doubt that this was a perfect punch.
Yeah, it was beautiful. I thought I saw somebody say that some Alabama fans were saying it was pass interference. I was like, have you lost your mind?
Yeah.
Like,
Granted, from where I was sitting in the press box, I was like, oh no, what happened to that, right? Because I wasn't sure, like from this angle, you could see it, but I wasn't sure if he like pushed him down. Because anytime he's on the ground, it's like, okay, how did he get there? Did he slip? Did he fall? Did he dive? So,
they mentioned, other people were mentioning, there's a good chance if this is a little bit more accurate, Peyton's in good enough position in closing that he could have picked that off.
yeah, if it's higher, he could have picked it off. Yeah. Because Ryan's going out and he's got to come back to it a little bit because it's spiking. It's I mean, what a feeling. Obviously, biggest win of Brent's career.
Huge.
And the cinematic stuff, the one shot one and the whole team kill.
It was amazing. I mean,
I've watched it so many times.
it's so good. It's so good. And people wonder why we love BV, man, and why we felt like he's the guy. And you and I have, like I said, we've been on here on the record, even this summer, like we were I don't want to say hard for us on him of like, hey, it is what it is. Like this as a result of like just what has happened, like we can't continue to have 6-win seasons at Oklahoma. And if he does, he's probably gone. We just being honest. But we've always said like BV, we've said not excuses but reasons. Like these are things that have happened. You can see some of the things that are coming up. We just need to see it actually come to fruition, and it's finally started to. And that's even without we've had an average offense, one that doesn't, they didn't turn the ball over. Besides, the one time in Tennessee or the 2 times in Tennessee, but even then, overcame it, didn't turn the ball over at all at Bama, and so they weren't getting in the way like last year's offense was. But
yeah, and that's the thing. It's so funny because we're playing this weird game of like how much worse can John Mateer's stats get while Oklahoma still wins the game. It's like like he threw for 159 yards
Yeah.
at Tennessee on the road, and you win that game. Then he throws for even less than that and runs for 20 yards, and we win at Alabama. Like, I would very much take, like, this weekend, John, if you're listening, just throw for 200 yards. Like, I'm not asking for a lot. Throw for 200.
Yeah.
Sorry, my
That's for
dog
sure.
is being needy because I was eating steak earlier and gave her a couple bites, so she's seeing if I have any more. I'm sorry, I
Yeah.
don't have any more steak.
Yeah. No, let's move on real quick, man, to Mizzou, and then we'll get a couple minutes of that in, do a score prediction, and we can talk about just the ranking in general. But obviously, as soon as let's just solidify their college football playoff ranking, which is number 8 at home against number 22, Mizzou, and so they can continue to even bolster our claim because that would be now 5 at the time ranked wins on this season.
Probably most in the country.
Yeah, right, 100%. So, Missouri is not now. Don't get it twisted. Like I know we call Missouri and everything like that, but like they're not a bad team. They're a good team. They have a really good defense. They probably top 5 SEC defense. I maybe
Yeah.
top 3. I didn't see statistically, but their numbers are, when I say comparable, like close, right, to some of what our numbers have been. And so again, we can look at their schedule, but they played, I think, they played Bama. They played I
They
think
lost to Bama. They lost to
A&M,
Bama. They lost to Vandy.
lost to A&M.
They, and then Auburn took them to 2 overtimes.
Did Auburn? Okay.
Yeah, because that was, I think that was that no, OU Texas weekend was Auburn, Georgia, but was it Tennessee weekend that? I think it was Tennessee weekend where Texas and Mizzou both won in overtimes.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm interested just to see how it goes. Apparently Bo Perbula, I think that's how you say his last name, is trying to make a comeback, but I highly doubt it. The ankle injury looked nasty, and even if you, I don't know, man, if you're gonna rush him back against anybody,
he's doubtful on the availability report, so I don't think he'll play.
If you're gonna rush him back
It'll be
against
Zollers.
anybody, they'll have it's not this defense.
No, I wish they would. Like, go ahead, put a hobbled guy out there to try and run the offense that is reliant on running the ball. Like, go ahead, see where it gets you.
Yeah, no, I agree, 1,000%, dude. So matter of fact, as you were talking about it, I just thought let's pull up this availability report. What does Oklahoma need to do to get a dub here, guys? I mean, obviously we, don't want to have a high to where we drop a game, because although a 9-3 Oklahoma still has a potential shot, a 10-2 Oklahoma is an absolute lock. So we need to continue to make sure that we just stay the course here. But looks like I can't with Javonte Barnes being on this list, dog. I can't.
Hey, it's questionable indeed, but it's interesting because Taylor Tatum's off the injury report. Theoretically he could play and still preserve his red shirt. Xavier Robinson is going to play, obviously not even anywhere on the availability report. Neither is Torrey Blaylock. So Oklahoma has to run the ball effectively, create downfield opportunities, and really at times, like, just throw the ball downfield. Like, just run a go ball and just throw it. Like, because part of what, like, that outside zone to the short side of the field, what everybody was like, man, what a trash play call. Yes, I agree. That's a trash play call, but it's a trash play call because everybody's so close to the line of scrimmage because nobody's worried about getting ran by. That outside zone just doesn't work. Like, we're going to see a ton of outside zone against Mizzou because that's just all they run. But like, when you try and run it and you've got bodies stacked up over there, you just run out of real estate because there's so many bodies in the way. So Arbuckle needs to understand that and say, look, for at least, I know you don't want to throw away plays, but once or twice in the first quarter, you've got to throw a deep ball. Like, you just have to. to try and keep the defense honest and keep them off the line of scrimmage, off from pressing, just so you can run maybe those near side runs or anything like that. You just stand no chance with them if you never threaten downfield. You never threaten them with the blow by. So I'd love to see that. Isaiah Satania obviously has track speed. Like, let him just run the deep ball. Let John put it out there. Worst case scenario, absolute worst case scenario, it's a punt. But best case scenario, you complete it long, or maybe you can get a penalty, and now you're cooking. You've got a big play, and you're getting them to back off the line.
Yeah.
And don't have it be an RPO. Like, say, John, you're going to throw the ball downfield here through hell or high water. Like, you're throwing the ball. So, because John will check out of it, or he'll throw low, he'll try and throw at the sticks, which is what you want him to do. You want him to make the correct decision in an RPO, and he often does. But you basically need to give him no option. Just say, hey, look, you're throwing the ball deep on this play. Just get ready.
Yeah. Yeah. So, it feels like it's been few and far between for sure. But like Boomer 129 says, I do think that there are moments where John tries to play hero ball. And when I say that, it can even be in some of the jump cuts he makes, which I love. Like, he can make jump cuts. Like, he has athleticism. But sometimes it's like, dude, just get upfield and get 3 more yards. Right? Or hey, you have a clean pocket. Stop rolling to the right.
Yeah, I hate that whenever he doesn't trust his protection, and he's like, the clock's in his head going off, and he's like, all right, I got to get out of here. But it's just like, when I'm thinking hero ball, I'm thinking you're wanting to get the big play, throwing it out, get the big play. And John's conservative, like, he's risk averse. And to me, there's never been a guy playing hero ball that's risk averse. I think he could lack confidence, lack vision, lack trust in his line, something like that. But again, maybe people just have different definitions of hero ball, perhaps. But when I think hero ball, I'm thinking I'm going to make the big play all the time, instead of taking the check down, instead of taking the 10-yard, the this, that, and the other. Like, I think that John could afford to play a bit more hero ball, if I'm being honest.
Sure.
But again, people have different definitions for it.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's definitely fair from that standpoint. I definitely understand what you mean by that. I am interested to see what it just feels like we haven't had a extended big play since, I don't know. I don't even know. I guess Ole Miss was the only one that I can think of where Satania, cut across. He missed Canic, but where Satania cut across, he, made him come across and actually work to where he was. I just feel like we're not seeing that, him, even when he does roll out of pocket, like guys breaking open and stuff like that. Who knows? I mean, the best part about all this, Trav, is the offense has not played. Again, even they play better than last year's offense, right? They haven't turned the ball over a lot. They can at least sustain some drives. It's not just automatic almost 3-0. But, there's a chance it could get better. And we set the bar, to the point where we won the last 2 games. Tennessee, they were a little bit better for sure. But even against Bama, our defense has won us these games, dog. And so, if we can get even the offense that we had against South Carolina, shoot. If we can get that type of offensive performance.
Running the ball. Yeah.
Yeah. If we can get that type of offensive performance, man, and get some play action in there, then we could be even more dangerous. I fully believe that. But the biggest thing is just not having a letdown. And I don't think Bo's going to play. I think obviously Ahmad Hardy, you're going to get a dose of him. And we've been susceptible to a big run here or there. Hasn't happened the last 2 weeks. But Bama specifically obviously had struggled with that. And then Tennessee, they actually had some good running backs, and we bottled them up. So I'm hoping that, we can do the same with Ahmad Hardy. From what I've seen of them, they do a lot of outside zone. And to me, I think that bodes well for us, in my opinion. because I think we have guys that penetrate, and the biggest thing that you need to do against outside zone is to get upfield instead of going alongside with it. And
Right.
so we got penetrators everywhere, man. And so we just need to be making sure we're tackling actually and not, just bouncing him off because he's not going to go down easy. You got to wrap him
Well,
up.
well, and my thing is, it's a one-dimensional offense. So, especially with the freshman in, like the guy's talented for sure, but like you can leave corners on islands a bit more. Like think
Yeah,
of Auburn and Michigan. Think back to those games. Those were running football teams. So you leave guys out on islands, and Eli Bowen's back. Obviously, very good corner. Cortland Guillory has only gotten better throughout the year,
yeah,
right? Like Devon Jordan played a big role, right? Like you've got corner depth, and like all of a sudden, if you need to commit more to the run game, you can because your corners are good, and you've got a quarterback that doesn't perform well under any sort of pressure, physical pressure, and Brent will be ready to dial it up. So, I just think on this run, I think you can commit more. I think Kip Lewis is going to have a crazy game. Like when I think of a guy cutting through outside zone,
yeah,
like after the defensive line kind of does their thing, I see Kip Lewis and a guy like Reggie Powers coming up and just blowing up Hardy. Like I can just visualize it now. So yeah, it's going to be big time offense. You got to sustain drives. You got to sustain drives. You got to put up points. You can't count on touchdowns from the defense and Tate Sandell's golden leg to save you every week. You're going to have to start doing your part.
yeah. Yep, 100%. They have to. Missouri's a tough test. It's not going to be any easier, Trav. It's not going to be any easier. But offensively, this will be the worst offense you've seen since South Carolina. And that's not to say they're not doing things well. Like I said, Mark Hardy is the best running back in the SEC. But passing the football, certainly you're going to have to make this backup quarterback prove it. So, well, are you saying Boomer 129? Are you saying that like is that what you're saying? You just saying that it just sounds weird? Because I hope what you're not saying is that I'm not telling the truth. But let's get to a score prediction, Trav. And you'll be there. I'll be on the road to Oklahoma while the game is going on. And I will be there for LSU, which I'm excited about. But let's get a score prediction for this weekend, and then we'll talk about the college football playoff rankings and kind of what we think about them, potential seedings and positionings as we move on. Trav, what are you thinking, man? Score prediction.
Man, I feel like this whole season has just been like 17-21, 24-20, 23-20. And it's just, I mean, it's what it's ended up being. Close games. Right now, I believe Missouri is a 7.5-point dog. I expect them to cover, but man, I expect it to be like 24. I'll go 20. Oh man, that's a high score. No, I'll go. I think the over under is like 42.5. Give me 24-17, which would be crazy that Tate Sandel's only making one field goal. But
Yeah.
Well, then give me 23-17. 23-17.
317 OU. You're there first. The line is what, 8.5 right now?
7.5 last time I checked.
7.
So not a cover, but 23-17.
Yeah. Okay, anybody else?
I see 24-10. Kirby's still wishing we had an offense like all of us.
Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and say Unk. That's Byron, our guy. Unk says
27-17.
27-17.
31-16. Man, offensive explosion.
Yeah.
31-16.
Hey, we did score. We did score in the 30s against Tennessee.
Yeah.
27-17.
Put it on.
Mizzou's defense is legit. It is legit. I'm not gonna like, I'm gonna say 23 to 14. I'm gonna say 14. 23-14. I think that we will bottle Lamar Hardy up. He may spring some, but I think ultimately we're obviously going to make him throw the football, backup quarterback. Could they get some? Potentially. Honestly, I think that maybe they scored defensive touchdown, which I hate even saying that, but
I know. I mean, you've got 2 in a row, so it's tough.
Mateer played with a little bit of fire. Against Bama, he almost had a pick six. So I don't know. 37-13. Wow. 27-13. I think
13.
It's not a must win for sure. Like, he definitely is a must win in a way. Like, obviously, LSU is even more significant should you drop this game. But I think the two things are we just cannot go 0-2 against Missouri 2 years in a row. And obviously they're going to be our rival moving forward. But, like, especially with the stuff that's been happening with the coaching staff, like the last few years, everything about like some of the chatter over social media, man, like that just cannot be something that happens, that they come into Norman and get a dub. All right, look. I don't know, Chad. Do you think I'm being crazy? Do you think I'm giving Missouri defense too much credit?
No, I mean, they've been good. I mean, they've been really good. They got talent. I mean, they've got a first-round pick at edge. I mean, they got talent. It's just Oklahoma, they're not Bama's defense. Bama's defense is better. We were able to move the ball against South Carolina. They've obviously got NFL talent. We're able to move the ball against Tennessee a decent amount. Like, I don't know. I don't think Missouri's defense is actually better than what Alabama's was.
No.
And Missouri's played a significantly easier schedule than everybody's. Like they can talk about, we play in the SEC like everybody else. Like you do, but you had a big game against University of Louisiana.
Yeah.
Like you played like this schedule of theirs. They've got like 8 home games this year. This is only their 3rd time they've been on the road.
Yeah.
They played Kansas in the non-con as their big marquee non-con matchup. I mean, you see it with Central, Arkansas, Louisiana, UMass, and then you get beat by Alabama, who we just beat. You beat Auburn. You get beat by Vanderbilt. You get beat by Texas A&M. You give up 27 points to Mississippi State. Mississippi State's defense is trash. Ahmad Hardy ran all over them. Oklahoma's a better football team, but I don't think they're taking it lightly at all. I think 2 road games that were both massive wins. I think OU's fan base, even at 11 a.m., is going to be rocking and rolling, and they know that something's on the line. Like, there's nothing really on the line for Missouri anymore. Like, pick what bowl game you're not going to the playoff. So, like, now you're worried about your coach leaving. You're not going to the playoff. Like, what does it end up being? So, yeah, it's Oklahoma's got to show up to play,
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Zollers is not that guy, obviously. And he's not going to do much versus an Oklahoma defense. Yeah, I mean, Bo's last game was against Auburn, and he could do a little bit more, but I don't think that we're going to allow Ahmad to just run roughshod. You know, I mean, yeah.
No, he was held to like 50 yards
702.
twice this year. So
You said what?
he was held to like 50 yards like twice this year.
Hardy?
Yeah, I don't think it's some guarantee. Like I think
Yeah,
it
no,
was.
for sure, for sure. You know, and he's good. Don't get me wrong, but like he can be bottled up. He's shown that. I think we just have to make sure that our offense continues to not give up, or not turn the ball over and not give up, anything too crazy in terms of turnovers and, well, in terms of big plays and stuff like that. But that's what I'm looking for. Trav, let's
Absolutely.
get into college football playoff, dude. And
Let's do it.
what the committee did. I mean, did you agree, disagree?
Uh,
What's everybody's thoughts?
I'm not sure Oregon has a ranked win. If they do, it's just one. So I thought Oklahoma might even jump Oregon. Now
Yeah.
Oregon's got a big one against USC this weekend. Everybody should be rooting for USC. I know that feels weird, but if USC can win, Oklahoma moves up if they win.
Yeah.
And then there's an outside chance that USC has to come to Oklahoma for a playoff game. Lincoln Riley returns to Oklahoma for a playoff game. So I will be rooting for USC to take down Oregon, have us move up one, even safer, because with Alabama, if they win the SEC, they're going to move up. So you don't want to be in a situation where you lose a home game. You want to be at home in the playoffs. You don't want to be going on the road.
Yeah.
So obviously the side of the bracket, like if you're up at 5-6, then you can be opposite Ohio State. So, if you do whatever you can to get to 5 and 6, obviously you don't know what could happen in the Egg Bowl. You don't know what could happen to Texas Tech in the Big 12 championship game.
Yeah.
Oregon, again,
Texas Tech have a loss.
USC.
They lost to Arizona State, right?
Yes, number 25 Arizona State. So, you want Tennessee to keep winning. You want Michigan to keep winning. Michigan's got Maryland this weekend. Tennessee's got Florida. So you want both of them to keep winning. Yes, OU has to win out to get a bid.
Yeah, what are Miami's and Notre Dame's like marquee wins? Obviously, Miami's is Notre Dame.
Notre Dame's is USC. But I'm pretty sure Miami's 2 loss. The goofy thing about Notre Dame is they're judging it off their losses. So they're like, oh, they have 2 good losses, A&M at number 3 and Miami at number 13. But then Miami has 2 far worse losses. But also,
can we get that?
Yeah, that's what I don't get about Notre Dame is the playoff committee said, well, they're just good on both sides of the ball, which obviously is a direct shot at Oklahoma being bad on offense. But how come eye test is being used for Notre Dame, but resume is being used for everybody else? And like Oregon for that matter. Why is Oregon ahead? Like, why is Oregon ahead of Oklahoma? It's because of the eye test. It's like, we have data, we have resumes. Like, you have so much data available to you, use it. Eye test can confirm biases, it can confirm styles. Maybe you like a style of one way or another, and that'll be biased. But I mean, Oklahoma should be above Oregon right now. If USC takes care of business, they will be above Oregon next week if Oklahoma takes care of business as well.
Yeah. I mean, USC's not favored though against Oregon. I mean, that'd be a pretty big upset, would it not?
It'd be a decent upset, but for the first time in 4 years, I'm rooting for Lincoln Riley to win that game because it'll benefit Oklahoma, and it increases the likelihood of them having to come to Norman, which would make for the best and maybe the best environment in the stadium's history.
Oh my gosh, it would be insane. I need you to smoke some Wagyu tomahawk steaks just for old time's sake.
I mean, can you imagine Lincoln Riley running out with his team in Norman? Oh
my gosh, dude. It'd be rough. Yeah, it would be insane. To be honest, I don't think it's gonna happen because I think they'll lose in Oregon. I do. I think they're gonna lose to Oregon. It's gonna be a non-starter.
I mean, probably, but
we can dream. We can dream.
Dream a dream. Dream a little dream.
Yeah, I mean, but other than that, I mean, you got, BYU wins out and wins in the championship game, then I think that yes, BYU jumps Oklahoma, but Texas Tech is going to fall below Oklahoma in that point, in my opinion, or should, because they're not a champion, and we would have way better wins than them and better losses theoretically.
Well, that's why it's good that Missouri's ranked.
Yes, another win if that happens.
Yep, and they play Arkansas at the end of the year, so they can kind of maybe backdoor even back up to like 24 or 25.
Yeah.
If they lose to number 8 and then beat, somebody at the end of the year, end up 8-4. But I mean, again, got to root for both Tennessee and Michigan to keep winning. I mean, obviously Alabama, that win's going to only get better and better, and then. Yeah, Oklahoma should be in good shape. Just got to win the last 2 games. It's never been a question of whether Oklahoma at 10-2 gets into the playoff. It's just, are you hosting a home game?
Yes, 100%. Because if we win out, we are getting to the playoffs. So we just don't need to let them this weekend. They have to think if OU whips the Tigers, they jump Oregon. I mean, I don't know that they do because Oregon only has 1 loss, and it's to the number 2 team by 3. I understand they don't have the wins, but the losses do matter whether we want to say they do or not. So I don't think it's right in any world to have a 2-loss team jump a 1-loss team. And I
don't know.
I'm okay with that, but I mean,
you say if have to think of OU whips the Tigers, we would actually have 4 top 25 wins because Alabama, Tennessee, Michigan, and Missouri. So we'd have the most in the country. Depending on, everybody always wants to talk about, are you nervous at all about wearing alternate uniform? We've never lost in the Unity uniforms, so I think it's all in your head. I think it's all in everybody's head. If you play poorly, it's not because of what you're wearing.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of people say, I'm so nervous about this weekend. So, look, I just – you got to hope that with the way this team has been wired, that they are not just like, oh, we're going to come in and roll Missouri. Like, we know for a fact that BV is not going to allow specifically the defense to be like, oh, yeah, we're not going to do anything. And I hope that Ben Arbuckle, again, has the Sooners ready because they're going to be facing 2 of the best defenses in the SEC besides our own back-to-back weeks.
Yep. You just hope you can make them check out early.
So, Ohio State hasn't played anybody either besides Texas. Yes, but Rough Riders were not as, easily.
Well, we also
wins is.
It was also, I think a lot of the Rough Riders were under the Riley era, right? So it was like when you're an offensive football team, it's a lot easier to have a weird game. Like defense raises the floor on a program so much more dramatically. So, but we are at an hour. All 903 of you, thank you for tuning in. But
900 and shoot. It's a good amount.
Not bad. Not bad. Go like the video. Yeah. Liking it is free.
Indeed.
Free 99. Free 99.
Indeed. So. And just stay tuned. Obviously, hope we are talking about a dub, but next week we'll see if it can happen or not. But Trav and I will both be in the state of Oklahoma next Wednesday, and so we may find a way to get together. If not, obviously expect us to do a show as always. But regardless, make sure y'all show up Saturday, show out, be loud. Noon kickoff. go get a dub, man, and let's have a party at LSU against LSU. A playoff party. That's why I like to hear.
It's 11 a.m. for those in the Central Standard Time. He said noon kickoff,
I
but
apologize. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate you guys.
See you, Coach
Appreciate
Tyler.
you guys for tapping in. Coach Tyler, thanks for popping in towards the end. And we will
It's playoff time. It's playoff time for Coach Tyler. You're getting locked in.
Red November. Looks like maybe blue November for him. But all right, guys, appreciate y'all. Boomer.